Culture in Vietnam is one of the main attractions to people travelling there. It is something foreign and enticing in a way that lures tourists from all corners of the globe. The bustling cities, friendly people, and delicious and sometimes strange foods are all quite exciting for foreigners, as I know it was for us going to Hue. Cultural awareness, by definition, is someone's understanding of the differences between themselves and people from other countries or other backgrounds, especially differences in attitude and background. It is the foundation of relationships and also something that is extremely important in the context of developing and establishing programs such as ISP2018. This is explored by David Bronkema in an introduction to community engagement. He mentions that in order to attempt successful community development, which was the fundamental concept behind our visit to Hue, material, political, relational and spiritual values need to be taken into consideration and are essential for sustainability of the endeavour, but also making the most impact. It was these concepts that underpinned our experiences in Hue and Vietnam, and something that throughout the duration of the trip became more and more apparent. Being given the opportunity to experience Vietnamese culture through visits to Hen Island, high schools and An Truong village allowed us to form an understanding of the values that the people of Vietnam hold very close to their hearts. This cultural immersion made us appreciative of the way our fellow Vietnamese students had been brought up and the ways in which they differ from us. Being able to understand these differences was actually quite essential to the way we approached our campus projects and proposals. It was extremely important that we were aware of how we were going to impact the lives of the people we were designing projects for, but it was also imperative that understanding that sustainability has not been something that has been widely valued in Vietnam, and therefore it was important that we don't come across as demanding and condescending when trying to convey our ideas. One such way in which cultural awareness unexpectedly came to fruition was on our trip to Hen Island. We, as students, were given the task of cleaning up as much rubbish as we could from the riverbank and surrounding areas. This task in itself was quite an eye-opening one, although we soon discovered that many of the locals did not want us touching their rubbish and told us to go away, something that was quite a shock as we were under the impression that we were doing something to help them and make them aware of their environment. We had not been prepared for this kind of interaction. If this were happening in Australia, it most likely would have been welcomed and celebrated. And it definitely threw me back into reality and was a severe reminder of the importance of cultural awareness and how the differences between our cultures can affect people. It was clear that this method of disposing rubbish is ingrained in the local people's minds, and they didn't want foreigners to come in and take that away from them. We were able to use this knowledge of the culture to develop campus projects that were culturally sensitive and practical and didn't interfere with the normal way of life of the Vietnamese. The understanding of differences between values and background that was observed in Vietnam was a clear indication of the importance of cultural awareness in forming and developing relationships while in a foreign country. It is something that without which these sorts of connections would fail and progress would come to a halt. It was a fantastic experience being able to learn this through the program, and I feel now as if I really understand the importance of cultural awareness and the impact it can have from people all over the world.